When converts first begin to sing,
wonder, wonder, wonder,
their happy souls are on the wing.
wonder, wonder, wonder,
Their theme is our redeeming love.
wonder, 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 fain would they be with Christ above. Wonder, wonder, wonder,
With admiration they behold
wonder, wonder, wonder,
the love of Christ that can't be told.
The first territorial governor of Michigan was William Hull of Massachusetts. An experienced lawyer, veteran, and graduate from Yale University, he came from a strong Federalist background. He was appointed by Thomas Jefferson, with whom he shared strong democratic ideals. Augustus B. Woodward was appointed as the next territorial officer of the Michigan Territory. A native of Virginia, he received a thorough education from William and Mary College in Williamsburg, Virginia. He and Hull were constantly at odds with one another. At this time, there were only 4 territorial positions in Michigan. Hull and Stanley Griswold, a former Connecticut minister, composed the New England half of the office. Woodward and John Griffin, also a native Virginian, made up the southern half of the office. This created obvious ideological differences between the two pairs. In an attempt to sway decisions in one direction, it was decided to appoint another New Englander to the office. Shortly before the arrival of the new official, a great fire swept through Detroit, destroying every part of the city. John Harvey, the town baker, had arrived at his shop, happily smoking his pipe. When entering the stables to hitch his horse, a gust of wind caught a piece of burning tobacco. When it landed, it met a pile of hay on the stable floor. Quickly, the haystack and the barn in which it was stored were up in flames. The fire, spreading from building to building, eventually engulfed the entire city, proving too powerful for just buckets of water and the town's hand pump. Leaving only a few buildings and small amounts of food, supplies were extremely limited. After a short amount of time, a large supply of lumber was received via the Detroit River, allowing for the immediate rebuilding of the city. The officials, arriving in Detroit shortly after the disaster, studied what was left. Conclusively, it was decided that the old infrastructure of the city was inadequate. The city was ordered to be reconstructed with wider streets and farther distances between buildings. A federal grant of land was given, along with which the state officials were able to get their hands on the street plan for the nation's capital. Effectively using Washington's plan as a guide, Woodward was able to create Detroit with separate districts, each with streets protruding from them, similar to the spokes of a wheel. Unfortunately, James Withrow, the official so recently elected, decreased Woodward's street size. Despite the setback, the general foundation that Woodward was able to secure acts as the same street plan that we see today.
With admiration they behold
wonder, wonder, wonder,
the love of Christ that can't be told.
wonder, wonder,